celebrating diversity and culture, and always a pleasure to bring it to you. With David Aldridge on our sideline, and here with me, Greg Anthony and Steve Smith, this is Kevin Harlan. Hey, Dave.
Well, it took 5 long months as Anthony Davis's trade request was finally granted. Now he has a new start in Los Angeles.
And DA, that's the standard for the Lakers organization. Thanks for that report. Let's now to take a look at the steal numbers over the last couple months, the scope of that for Butler.
I feel like he hasn't been paying as much attention to the defensive aspect of the game as he needs to. His steals have dropped over the past few months, and he needs to get back to some of that fire on D.
Here are the starters for Los Angeles. LeBron and Green make up the backcourt. JaVale McGee is out there with Davis, and it's Caldwell Pope in at the 3 spot. And for the Heat, Jones is out there with Jimmy Butler. Then it's Robinson. Then it's Bam Adebayo. And it's Nunn in at the point. Steve, we know it's a long season for the players, but talk about the coaches.
Kevin, you seen it. Those coaches that are on a hot seat, they have those bags under their eyes, no sleep. Those coaches that have a long contract and they're winning, they're pretty good. And I think the coaches that sleep well is the coaches that have teams that they know they kind of run themselves.
Here's Nunn. Outside Robinson. Pass to Adebayo. Shot clock at 2. Butler from outside. Miami with a new 14. The shot by Adebayo, no good. So it's Davis. He'll bring the ball up to the Los Angeles Lakers. And it's Davis finishing it off.
The veteran presence of Danny Green keeping his eyes up, finding his teammate wide open.
Pass to Nunn. Right side Robinson. Miami no good on that time either. James looking it over. On the wing, Green. A look at his stats. He averages a bit over 8 points a game. Took the opportunity when he saw it.
Good job by AD. Gets his feet set, on balance, shoulders squared, has the athletic flexibility of a smaller player.
Now here's Butler trying to claw his way back after a terrible showing in that loss to Charlotte.
Yeah, scoreless here early after their first 4 shots. They right now are searching for a bucket. Well, they say players are made in the summertime, and that's Jimmy Butler's favorite time of year. He calls it grimy season, gets out in the country and puts in that work.
For Los Angeles, they've gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Now the pass to Davis. Shot from 12. Misses off the left iron. Miami's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Over to the left wing. Here's Nunn. James covering. Robinson for 3. It's hauled in by LeBron. Robinson against Green. Passes it to James. McGee trying to break free. Some solid defense from Butler. And it's Butler with the ball. He'll bring it up for Miami. Trailing by 2. And they're unable to get the tying basket there. Caldwell Pope against Jones. James, the pass to Davis. With 4 seconds on the clock, he lays it in. Davis has got 6.
You see the weight that AD's added to his frame over the years. Now invites contact.
And we reached the end of the first quarter. Lakers ahead, leading by 4. And we'll be back in just a moment with the start of the second quarter. Well, you see a lot of players who pick out the controller and fire up NBA 2K, thank goodness, including the king himself, LeBron James.
play 2K all the time. Seriously, when I'm playing the game, I'm putting certain lineups on the court that I...
Always experimenting, always keeping his mind engaged, Greg, with basketball.
And that's who Bron is. He lives, breathes, and eats basketball.
Welcome back to Noche Latina, celebrating the Latin culture and their love for the game of basketball. It just keeps growing. And let's quickly break down the game we've seen from the Lakers here so far, guys.
You could see they were well prepared defensively coming into this one.
Yes, what they do, they take away the things that teams like to do offensively, also keeping them out of sync.
Jay Crowder out there with Olynyk, and there's Iguodala. Then there's Dragic, and it's Hero into the 2 spot. It's the group on the floor for Miami. The offensive rebound, and yet again, good D by Howard.
He is so good attacking the rim. It's rare to see him denied like that.
Well, he's going to have some explaining to do on the sideline about why he took that shot.
Low percentage chance. If it's not there, give up the rock. Trust your teammates.
Lakers leading by 4.
Where you always have confidence in the Heat organization is at the top. Pat Riley with 9 championship rings as a player, as an assistant coach, as a head coach, and as a team president. He knows how to win from every perspective.
Here's Caruso. He's guarded by Dragic. We've got 1:28 left in the first half of basketball. Clock at 6. Smith against Crowder. They get the rebound. Here's Howard, and they convert it last on attempt number 3.
And really, there's no reason why Howard can't at least be boxed out. When he comes up with these rebounds, it's night-night for the defense.
Here's Hero. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. And yes, it's good.
Man, I'll tell you, when you get your floater game going, it's a tremendous weapon.
Waiters into the lane. Another shot, and it's Howard laying it in. Howard's got the lead up to 6 now for Los Angeles.
And Kevin, they've dialed up their activity this quarter. We're seeing them convert a lot of those second chance opportunities.
Here's Dragic. Misses from close range.
And he's been way off the mark this quarter. It's been ugly.
And that one's good, Caruso. Second quarter of play with almost 3 minutes gone. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
That's a 2 from Crowder. On the wing, Iguodala, covered by Smith. Waiters outside. Nice catch and finish on the alley-oop.
Yeah, nice silky finish on the alley-oop from the stupendous feed.
That sequence couldn't have been executed any better. And so that's the end of the first half. Lakers lead by 10. And don't go away. After the break, we'll see you right back here for the start of the third quarter.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back to the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Ernie Johnson. Kenny the Jet Smith is right here. Say hey to the folks, Kenny.
Hey, folks.
Say hey to the folks, Shaq.
Hey, folks.
Hey, let's get this party started. A competitive matchup for the Lakers in the first quarter. They did jump out to a lead in the opening period, but 4 points was the biggest it got. Their play in the second quarter was inspired as they turned what had been a tight contest into a 10-point ball game by the time we reached halftime. And taking a look at the Lakers, Shaq, what'd you think?
I'll tell you what, Anthony Davis. Every time you look at the stats, he's contributed in almost every category. Dominant inside, outside, on both ends. Love to watch this kid play.
And Kenny, what are your thoughts on Miami?
Well, obviously, they were outshot. I thought they mailed it in too many times in terms of their effort. People weren't moving, they weren't screening, and they definitely weren't hustling. They need to hit the ground running to be competitive in the second half, or they could get blown out.
That's all for now. Say goodbye to the folks. Thanks
Goodbye,
for
folks.
joining us. Third quarter, just about ready to begin.
remind if you're just joining us in this one, first half is in the books, one half to go. You have to like what we're seeing from Davis.
Yeah, and just look at the numbers from the first half. He has been very efficient.
And it's not like everything's been at the rim. There's been a number of jump shots along the way.
And we hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. We're halfway through the game. From a low trauma perspective, Steve, which stars do you think would be the easiest to play alongside and be their teammate?
I think Kawhi Leonard for sure, Kevin. Doesn't say much, just goes out and plays. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Jokic, a lot of those superstars. I think Paul George is another guy that goes out and just plays. So there's a few out there that would love to play alongside.
Third quarter action getting rolling right now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's who's on the floor. Taking a look at the Lakers. LeBron and Green make up the backcourt. Davis is out there with Caldwell Pope, and it's McGee in at the 5, roaming the paint.
The great thing about Anthony Davis, he's efficient. He shoots a great percentage from the field and from the line, and he doesn't turn it over.
And guys, at this point in his career, Anthony Davis just entering his prime. Crazy to think when you look at what he's already accomplished thus far.
And the first one drops. And both free throws good for Davis.
And what an advantage. You really feel like you can always trust him when he's at the line.
Nunn passes to Butler. Here's Nunn. He's guarded by Caldwell Pope. Again, the miss by the Heat. And we are talking about Anthony Davis. How do you even put into words what he's able to do on the basketball field?
I mean, he's entering the conversation among the best big men of all time. On a nightly basis, dominating in so many facets of the game. Really, it's remarkable.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Jimmy Butler has made several all-star teams, but he remains single-minded in pursuit of his bigger goal. Butler said, "I just want to win a championship. That's all that matters. I didn't do it in high school, didn't do it in college. If I don't win it here, then I'll go to the 50 and over league someday. But I got to win a championship at some stage." Kevin?
I like that attitude. Thank you, D.A. Here's Nunn. Following the basket by Anthony Davis. Nunn passes to Butler. Over Caldwell Pope. And it's Butler missing.
Well, he wants to shoot his way out of this cold spell, but the struggles continue.
You know, to me, this is when you want to focus on creating for others. Give someone else a chance. It's called a teammate.
Now here's James. Jimmy Butler unable to get his last shot to go. And it's Davis missing.
Great defensive effort, just saved a basket.
You know what? This is why you never give up on a play. You don't know what's going to happen.
Now here's Butler. No points in the game yet for him. Just 5 to shoot. From deep three-point range, and the rejection by James. 1 second separating the shot clock and game clock. Outside for Caldwell Pope. Jones against Davis. Goes back up. Good D by Jones. And so it's Los Angeles with a sizable lead as the quarter wraps up. They're ahead 16 points. And it's been their rugged defense setting the tone. And we've got more NBA action on 2K Sports coming your way after this break. And let's take this chance now to show you the State Farm assist of the game.
Just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
Execution. This is what you practice every day. These guys are professionals. Beautiful play.
And 1 quarter to go in a game that to this point has not been an evenly fought contest. The Heat trail by 16. Hero out there with Dragic. Then there's Myers Leonard. Then there's Jimmy Butler. And it's Silva in at the 4 spot. That's the group in the game for the Heat.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
James outside. Pass to Howard. You know, Smitty, every team at some point faces some locker room turmoil. How tough is it to balance team chemistry?
You know, it's very tough. Sometimes you have those 1 or 2 player additions that it just changes the dynamic of your team. Sometimes you lose a leader. He might not be the best player. Then a lot of times guys are playing for contracts, and some guys get a little bit upset because they figure they're playing for their individual success versus team. But when you have that right chemistry, it is beautiful.
And Matador defense, that's one of the easiest shots he is ever going to see.
And this is what happens when you start to break your opponent's spirit. The resistance is no longer there.
J.R. Smith's checked in for the Lakers. Free throw good, James. And the GOAT conversation. LeBron has said his motivation is to surpass Michael Jordan as the greatest of all time. Greg, what do you think he needs to do to bolster his case?
I think for the naysayers, the obvious answer is more rings. You look at the other numbers, including those 8 consecutive finals appearances, LeBron is in the discussion.
I love how Jimmy Butler let the play develop, how he's learned to trust his vision.
1:44 left in the 4th quarter. Smith for 3, connects from 3-point range. Smith's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Dragic against James. Now Dragic. NBA gets headlines daily. You know it does, Smitty? Around the calendar. There's no off-season, but does the added scrutiny put more pressure, you think, on the players?
Yeah, I think it does. I think now you look at it, everybody wants to see what you're doing in an off-season. And 24/7, you look at it right now, everybody has a camera phone, and everybody is looking for the stars, what they're doing off the court.
James, no good.
Wow, that's one you just kind of assume is going in. Tough luck.
And tonight's battle is going to end with a very clear winner, leaving nothing to chance. Impressive win for Los Angeles.
This is a physical game.
Yeah, I mean, they were aware of the rotations defensively and were able to attack the rim.
In what's been a good season already, tonight's win will take their record to 50 wins, a big milestone here tonight.
And they've really had a dominant run of games against this opponent this year. They played them 3 times and won every one.
And guys, one of the steady and outstanding players putting in another impressive performance, it was a big-time outing for LeBron.
And how many times throughout the course of the evening did he make a momentum-changing play? I thought his relentlessness really keyed their success.
And that one falls for Dragic.
Well, when you watch Goran Dragic play, you can tell the precision that he has with his movement and footwork. But as pretty as his game is, he has a bit of edge to him. Very fiery player.
Now, here is Morris. He dishes it to Smith. Here is Cook. He's guarded by Dragic. In transition, here comes Miami. Hill leading the charge. Doesn't get it to drop for him. Good work defensively by Smith. And guys, they can just sit on the ball here if they want to.
They have earned this win.
Here is Howard. So it's Los Angeles win this one easily. A solid win on the road for them. This building was dead silent by the time, GA, this one wound down.
And that's what you want to do. Take the crowd out of it by crunch time. Don't give them any chance to lift their team up at the finish.
Got a chance now to
Thank you, Kevin.